Good morning, students. In the last class, we had come to know what is deforestation and its causes. Now, what are the consequences of deforestation? Plants take in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Deforestation removes the vegetation cover, which increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and also the temperature. It also disturbs the ecological balance. Due to deforestation, the level of carbon dioxide is increasing in the atmosphere, which is not good for us because we inhale oxygen and release carbon dioxide. If in the atmosphere carbon dioxide level is also rich and we also release carbon dioxide, then this is harmful for us and also for the animals. Due to the increasing level of carbon dioxide, the temperature is also rising, which is disturbing the ecological balance in the nature. Due to deforestation, less carbon dioxide is used up and its increased amount in the atmosphere causes global warming. Carbon dioxide remains in the atmosphere, traps the heat reflected by the earth. This affects the climate patterns and may lead to reduced rainfall and loss of fertility of the soil. As a result, the chances of natural calamities such as floods and drought increases. Now, due to deforestation, we had come to know that the carbon dioxide level is increasing, and due to the increase in carbon dioxide level, the temperature is also increasing in the atmosphere, which is leading to global warming. Deforestation, loss of habitat is leading. In turn, what is happening? Many plants and animals are extinct and many are worse of extinction because they had lost their habitat. Due to deforestation, the soil particles are easily washed away by rain and wind, leading to soil erosion. In hilly areas, erosion can cause landslides. The fertile layer of soil is lost and the land becomes barren. If this situation continues for a long time, then the area converts into a desert, and this process is called the desertification. Due to deforestation, the soil particles are easily washed away by rain and wind, which leads to soil erosion. In hilly areas, soil erosion also causes landslides, and the fertile layer of the soil is lost and which becomes barren. If this continues, then the area will convert into desert, and this process is known as desertification. Trees also absorb the groundwater and release it into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor by the process of transpiration. Due to deforestation, transpiration cannot take place, which makes the atmosphere dry, adversely affecting the water cycle. Know that trees absorb water with the help of root from the ground, which helps in transpiration. Due to deforestation, transpiration cannot take place, which making the temperature atmosphere dry and which is leading to effect in the water cycle. Apart from man-made causes, many plant and animal species are destroyed due to natural causes such as earthquakes, climate change, floods, drought, cyclone, etc. Now, how to conserve the biodiversity? The preservation and careful management of plant and animals in order to prevent their extinction is called conservation. Now, what is conservation? The preservation and careful management of plants and animals so that we can help them so that they remain in nature forever. They can't be extinct, as some of the plants and animals had already been extinct from the earth. Conservation emphasizes the protection of ecosystem and the original habitats of living beings. This includes protection of a typical ecosystem through a network of protected areas, land or sea. These are managed by the government and other agencies. The government makes rules and policies to protect and conserve them. In India has approximately 381 protected areas as biosphere reserves, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries for this process. The biosphere reserves, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries are some of the steps that are taken by the government and some other agencies to protect the flora and fauna, that is plants and animals conservation. Forests help in sustaining thousands of life forms, including plants and animals. Wildlife is a natural resource that helps to remain ecological balance. Human beings have been exploiting forests to satisfy their needs. This has led to a decline in the number of many species of plants and animals. It is therefore very important to conserve plants and animals. So, forests help in sustaining many life forms. As we all know that we too depend on forests for our daily needs. And the wildlife is also a natural resource which helps in the maintaining of ecological balance. We, the humans, are exploiting the forest to satisfy our needs, which is leading to a decline in the number of many plants and animals, which are very necessary, very important to conserve the plants and animals. Now, what is flora and fauna? The plants and animals found in a specific region are known as flora and fauna, respectively. Means flora are plants and fauna are animals. The together constitute the biodiversity of the area. Flora and fauna are together called a biodiversity of that particular area. The flora and fauna of a country are an important renewable resources, therefore their management is very important. Next is Biosphere Reserve. A biosphere reserve is a special area of land or coastal environment in which multiple use of land is permitted by dividing into certain zones. The natural order core zone consists of an undisturbed and legally protected ecosystem. There is a buffer zone surrounding the core zone. The transition zone is the outermost part of the reserve. This area allows active participation of the government and local people. Some biosphere reserves recognized by the UNESCO in India are Nilgiri, Sundarbans, and Gulf of Mannar. Now, biosphere reserve is a special area of land or coastal environment which has three zones: water day, core zone, buffer zone, and transition zone. Core zone is that consists of an undisturbed and legally protected ecosystem, and the area surrounding the core zone is called the buffer zone, and the outermost part of the reserve is called the transition zone. There are many biosphere reserves in India recognized by UNESCO. Some of them are Nilgiri, Sundarban, and Gulf of Mannar. Next is national parks. A national park is an area which is strictly reserved for the protection of the wildlife. Human activities such as forestry, grazing, cultivation, etc. are not permitted here. Some famous national parks in our country are Jim Corbett and Dudhwa in Uttar Pradesh and Tadoba in Maharashtra. What are national parks? These are the areas where strictly reserved for the protection of wildlife. Here, forestry, grazing, cultivation of humans is not permitted. Next is wildlife sanctuaries. A wildlife sanctuary is a protected area that is reserved for the conservation of wildlife. Human activities such as collecting timber and minor forest produce are permitted. Some wildlife sanctuaries are Periyar in Kerala, Ranipur in Uttar Pradesh, Silka Lake in Orissa, and Sariska in Rajasthan. These wildlife sanctuaries are also a reserved area for conservation of wildlife, but human activities such as collecting timber and some minor forest products are permitted here. Next is forest reserves. Forest reserves are those areas of land where commercial activities such as obtaining wood and urbanization are strictly prohibited so that the unique species of plants and animals can be conserved. So, what is forest reserves? Those areas of land where commercial activities such as obtaining wood and urbanization is not allowed so that the unique species of plants and animals can be conserved. Next is zoological parks. Zoological parks are special areas where animals are kept in enclosures or cages for public display. Many zoological parks or zoos help in conservation and spread awareness about biodiversity. Some zoos also run programs for breeding of endangered species. Now, what is zoological parks? These are special areas where animals are kept in enclosures or cages for public, which is commonly known as zoos. We know that in India, even in Assam, we have zoos so that we can go and see the reserved reserved animals, wild animals, which are harmful for human life. They are preserved in zoos so that we can go and see them, and also we can conserve because they are very less in numbers. Now these zoos also helps in conservation and spread awareness of biodiversity, as they also run some programs for breeding the endangered species. Botanical garden. Like zoos, botanical gardens are special areas which are marked for protecting and conserving rare and threatened plants. They are also serve as seed banks. Many projects are carried out in India to prevent extinction of some endangered wild and animal species. Some of these projects are Tiger, Project Elephant, etc. Now, what is botanical garden? Botanical gardens are specially used for protecting and conserving rare and threatened plants. They are also known as seed banks because the less number of species, a specific species of plants, their seeds, they conserve those seeds, and these seeds help in regaining again that species for our future, which are very rare or threatened. And the last portion is that many projects are carried out in India to prevent extinction of some endangered wild animals, such as Project Elephant, Project Tiger, etc. Now you list out the zoos and national parks and wildlife sanctuaries of India and Assam. Make one table and show it to me. Even though steps are being taken to protect animals, illegal hunting called poaching is still a major threat to wildlife. Poachers hunt animals for body parts used in traditional medicine. Example, Indian rhinoceros is poached for horns and tiger for bones. Body parts valued as ornaments. Example, Asian elephants are poached for ivory and turtles for shells. For and hides, example, deer and cattle are poached for leather, alligators and snakes for skin, and wild cats and minks and bears for fur. What is illegal hunting? That is poaching. Even though animals are protected, their life is not in safe because poacher, for their needs, for business purpose, to earn money, they used to hunt the animals such as body parts for traditional medicine, again for ornaments and for and hides.